I was devastated. And then later on, the book bag was found in the trash. And I couldn't believe it. I was just like, where does this happen? And I know I'm not the first person this has happened to. It does happen in public schools, Catholic schools. I get it. When I was going to group therapy, there were other people who got picked on, and you hear horror stories of kids getting picked on. Even today, I mean, I don't even know what I would do if I had to deal with the type of bullying that goes on today due to social media and computers and things like that. But whatever, it was hard for me during my time. Every generation goes through a period, and that was just my generation, and that was hard. And so my book bag was taken. So that was the first step. Then my locker was drawn on. Something about me being a charity, because this was an expensive school. I think the tuition was about $1,300 a month. And on top of, you had to pay for uniforms, you have to have your books, you have to pay for the trips. It's a all-girl Catholic prep high school. So it was expensive. And my mom, a single mom, paid for me to go to this school. There was no charity. There was no scholarship. There was no welfare check. My mom had two jobs, because when I started going to this high school, my mom did have to get a second job. But she did it because it's the school that I wanted to go to. And my mom went to Catholic school her whole life too. So she was all about that. You know what I'm saying? That she didn't know anything else, because she didn't go to public school, my mom. So she wanted to keep me in the Catholic school system. But my mom paid for it. My tuition was always on time. I was never one of those kids who didn't get their report card. If you didn't get your report card, you knew that meant you owed tuition. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking anybody. It has nothing to do with the kid. That has to do with the parents. Unfortunately, we all know our kids suffer sometimes if we can't afford to do something. I'm not knocking anybody, because I was still poor. I'm just pointing out the fact that I wasn't one of those kids, but I guess they expected me to be one of those kids because I'm Black. They just knew, how are you in this school? How are you doing this? You get the one token Black kid every year, and it's like, how are you in this school? So, so things were drawn on. I got picked on. Shit was put in my lunch. And freshman year was hard, and it was a wake-up call. And the thing that changed me, now here it is, guys. This is the moment that I think started making me what they like to call the angry Black woman. This is where it started. It wasn't the only thing in life. It was just a long line of things. But the start of it. So here it is, this one girl. I remember her name, and I'm not going to say her name, because just in case people I went to high school with listen to my podcast. I don't know if they do, but I promote it, so they might. I won't say her name, but it started with a J. She was the worst of the worst that year. I mean, she'd mock me, she'd laugh at me, she'd say things. I remember her pulling my hair a few times. She was just a bitch, a real motherfucking bitch. And you know what it was? I don't even know why she was a bitch. One, because I thought she was a really pretty girl. She had beautiful, beautiful curly hair. Actually, and I was like, she must be dabbed with something else. I know she was white, but I was like, you might have some ancestors, because her hair was beautiful, nice and curly. And she had a really good smile, but she was a fucking bitch, and she picked on me forever and a day. So I don't know how long it was, maybe 6 or 7 months into freshman year. I started taking the train. Mind you, I shouldn't have been taking the train. There was a bus that went from my house all the way to my school. Not to my school exactly, but, a block or two away where I could just get off. But I met a couple of friends that year, and they took the train until, of course, I wanted to be cool, and I snuck. My mom didn't know, but I wanted to take the train too, and I could still get home. I just took the long way, pretty much. And so I'm at the train station, and that bitch that I'm talking about was there. And she's making jokes, and she's laughing, and she's like, I don't remember what she was saying to the, now, but she was saying stuff. So she said something like, I think I said something to her like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so mean? And then, they're laughing. Oh my God, why are you so mean? Oh my God, is she really asking that? Because that's how these bitches talked. And, And I don't remember exactly if she said, I should spit this at you, or someone told her, oh, you should spit it at her. So I'm standing there like, I know you're not going to do this. But then I'm also thinking, what am I going to do if she does this? So now the train comes. I get on the train, the doors are open, and I'm facing her because I'm thinking to myself, you can't be this horrible, right? It's 2000. When is this? No, this is 98. Yeah, so I'm like, it's 98. It might even be 99 because, like I said, it's a good 6 months in, right? Because school starts in September. So 6 months in would have now made it like, 1999. Or 4 months in. I can't even give you the exact time. I know there was it was a little bit into the year though, because everything else had happened. Like I said, my book bag, a couple other things had happened, my locker, my food. So I don't know how long my first year of high school was before this happened. But anyway, so I'm there. I'm standing there. The doors are open. And I actually want the doors to close. Please close. Because this girl and her friends are amping her up. Do it, do it. And guys, she does it. She spits her water in my face. As the doors are closing, she spits it and it hits me right in my face. So I stand there and other people are on the train looking. I could see adults with their eyes wide open like, oh my God, did this girl, did she just get spit at? And I just rode the train. And I got home, and you know what? I wasn't the only person they were picking on, though. I want to point that out. There was another girl who I made friends with freshman year. I was really close with her freshman year. I don't know what happened. Later on down the line, she started hanging with the losers, but they were picking on her, too, as well. And she was a white girl. But anyway, so now I get home and I'm hysterical because I can't believe that this has happened to me. Never in my life has anyone spit on me. Never. I have had my hair pulled. I've been shoved. I had been in one fight. That 1 year that I went to public school, 5th grade, the 1 year, I did get into a fight, my first fight, and I got beat up because I didn't fight back because that just wasn't me. I wasn't a fighter. I don't even know how to fight, and I don't even know what is fighting? What do you do? Like, I didn't really understand it. And 2 black girls, they jumped me and beat me up, and that was it. I mean, I tried to defend myself as far as covering my face and not letting them get too many hits in, but I didn't hit them back. And, and anyway, I told on them, sure did, and they got in trouble and got suspended. But anyway, so, like I said, so it's not like nothing had happened to me. But when I tell you that someone spitting on you changes what you think of this world, and to do it, I don't even know, honestly, if she did it because I was black, because it wasn't like she said, I'm going to spit on you, you black girl. But I did notice that they picked on me a lot, right? From the very beginning. The book bag incident was the first day of school, guys. First day of school. So I get home and I'm crying. I'm telling my mom, that the girl spit on me. Now, my mom, born and raised in the Bronx, guys, my mom is no punk. Okay, to this day, that woman will pop off. I always sometimes have to tell her, like, Ma, you're grown. You're grown, Ma. And no, my mother's ready to go. 0 to 100. Okay, that's her. She always ready. She's the opposite of me, okay? I don't know how she got so gangster, but she gangster, my mom, okay? She don't be playing these games. So she looking at me like, what the fuck do you mean the bitch spit in your face? And what did you do? I said, I stood there and I'm crying. What? So I'm thinking she gonna go to the school, help her daughter out. You know what my mother says to me? If you don't go to school tomorrow, this is not a lie, guy. This is truth. If you don't go to school tomorrow and smack that bitch in her face, when you come home and tell me, if I don't get a call that says that you're in trouble, you gonna get a beating. A beating. Now I'm like, what? I'm 14 or 15 years old. You gonna beat me? I probably done had 2 spankings my whole life. Okay, because I didn't get beat. I probably got 2 little pops my whole life. And now you want to tell me that at my age, I'm about to get beat. Because I didn't fight somebody. My mom said, yeah, I need you to tell me. I need somebody to call and say you in trouble. So I said, fine. But I really wasn't going to do it. I go to school the next day and I'm talking to the girl. I go up to her and I asked her, guys, I asked her to apologize to me. And she and her friends laughed. They said, did she really ask you to apologize to her? I tapped her on her shoulder and I said, if you apologize, then I will at least go home and tell my mom that you don't want to do this, and, that you're sorry and you shouldn't have done it. And she laughed at me. Her and her friends laughed at me. And then I just had to take a deep breath and I said, I guess I got to do what I got to do. And I punched her in her face. And then what's so crazy? She didn't even hit me back. She laid on the floor with her hand covering her face. I want to say her lip was bleeding, and she couldn't believe it. Like, it was like a shock to her. You spit on somebody, and it's a shock that they punch you in the face, and you didn't even fight me back. You didn't fight me back. So now we go to the office, and, they try to talk to me, and they ask me what happened, and I told them. And I said, my mom told me to do it. Now, these are nuns running the school, and they're like, your mom told you to hit another child. And I said, yeah, my mom told me. And they sure enough called my mother, and my mother said, I sure did tell her to do that. And then, of course, we tell them what happened, and they try to tell us it was off of school property and how, they can't. But then, of course, my mom went and used a black card. She was like, if something don't get done to both of them, she was going to go to the papers or something. And then we both. So I got one in-school suspension day and one not in-school suspension day. I don't remember what she got. Maybe she got one in school too. But the bottom line is that is what changed me. That changed my form of communication. Because from that point on, guys, from punching her in the face, I became a whole new person. I was no longer the quiet, keep to myself, let you pick on me, don't talk up, don't let you know that you're bothering me. I was popping off on any and everybody that came at me. Okay, I got into 2 other fights. The next 4 years in high school, I got into 2 other ones because they still attempted to pick on me. I had a couple of things happen, but I wasn't taking it no more. I wasn't doing it no more. The last fight I had in there, I hit first because I was just over it. I was tired of getting picked. I'm tired of these bitches thinking that they better, and that's kind of where it went. And then from high school, I've said before, I was a teen mom. That kind of changed the way I acted, and then being in an abusive relationship for 5 years. I mean, that is probably the next biggest thing that really changed me as a person when I finally got the courage to leave that relationship. I just couldn't deal anymore because all I kept saying to myself is, what am I showing people that lets people think that I am just a target and that you're just going to treat me any old kind of way and you're not going to respect me. You're not going to give me what I'm giving you. Because in general, I am I don't care what anybody else say, to be honest, because if they say something else, I'm just telling you right now, they lying. I am a very kind, sweet, I will give the last shirt off my back. I help people who really don't even need my help. I've had friends over the years that I've had to cut off because all you do is use. You keep using me. You're not my friend. You're never there for me, but I'm always there for you. Always. I could give a list of people that I had to be like, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. But also, it takes a lot for me to get there because I believe, I am a Taurus and I do believe in astrology. And for a Taurus, it takes a lot because we always want to keep our friends and our family. We always want that, and we sometimes keep holding on to things that we need to let go of. And I am guilty of that. I hold on to friendships. I hold on to relationships. I hold on to, those are the 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? I will hold this shit out to the end. Like I said, abused, physically, verbally, mentally abused for 5 years. It was bad, guys. And I did it for 5 years. And obviously there are women and men who do it longer, but I can only speak for myself. Like, it took everything in me for me to wake up and say, this is not healthy. This is not for you. You can do better. And the thing that brought me into being able to communicate really, really well was therapy. Obviously, anybody who's going to therapy knows that therapy is the best way to learn to communicate positive, right? To be able to receive, receive and give the information and how you communicate. And then we all have to realize that we do not all communicate the same. So just because, for example, it's easier for me now, thanks to the work, thanks to therapy, thanks to